I don't know how to plan a video. Currently, I feel very mentally blocked in just even thinking, so I really struggle to think about even how should I plan a video, what should I think about. I struggle to think about what should make this video about, what should I do it for. I really struggle to just think through planning a video. So let's solve this. Let's just make a plan about how to plan a video. And what I think is important, or where to start, is I think it's important to look at, well, what's important for this? What's important for the planning? What's important for the video itself? So for me, important for the planning itself is very much just focus on first, like I currently always do, feeling comfortable with it. Seeing just what feels comfortable and what feels discomfortable in planning, what is like nice to think about, what is like difficult to think about, just focusing on how it feels to plan something, how to think about something, how to think about a structure. Secondly, it's also for me currently very important to just think about, or just to focus on, exploration. Secondly, it's very important to just focus on exploring what should I even plan about, what should I even think about. Then after that, probably more, after that another thing that's very important is thinking about, and not just thinking, but defining the goals and the expectations that I want to have for the planning in this point, but also for the video. So I really want to define and actually write down on paper what are my goals for the planning phase and what are the goals for the video phase. And for the planning, it was very much, as I said, I want to focus on just kind of exploring what should I think about, what angles should I think about, also just in how does it feel? How does it feel to think about a certain topic, or how does it feel to think about, well, what does the user want, which currently is not really the thing that I'm thinking about, but things that I thought about most of which, what is the things that are important, what is the structures, so the focusing on the emotional side, how does it feel, or what doesn't feel good, what's difficult to think about, and just recognizing where maybe issues is and what works well and what doesn't work well, and so I can then after that adjust and see where to go from there. That's very important for me. And then of course what I'm doing, setting the goals and following them. And I really want to be precise in setting goals. And if I don't have anything defined as a goal, it doesn't matter. So these are the goals for the planning side, the goals for the video, very much at this point focusing at the things that I practiced before. So I want to focus on keeping eye contact. I want to focus on showing and using my hands a little bit more. I want to focus on feeling comfortable, so I don't want to put any pressure on me. If this doesn't work, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter. I can perform if I feel pressured, but I need to practice. And so I think it's very important to practice even if the result is bad, and just get comfortable with it and then slowly rise up where I don't feel the pressure anymore and the pressure is not holding me back. And also I very much set the goals of, I don't want this to be a good video. That's a non-goal for me. I really defined that and wrote this down. I don't want this video to be a good video. I don't expect to have any views. That's not a goal, that's a not goal. I don't intend for this to have any views. Stuff like that I really wrote down, and I set in stone and just said, these are the things that I want from the video, what I don't want from the video, precisely. Yeah, and I'm very much also me important was to just kind of expect, well, I will not be able to just execute this plan. I will not be able to make a plan and then just perform on it. I will, as I'm doing, I will struggle to just follow the structure. I will struggle to be fluid with it. I don't want it to be scripted. I kind of very much want these things to be as it comes up. But I have like the structure. I can show it. This is like kind of the whole plan that I'm using while I'm talking. The structure that I made was a bit longer, but this is like the short version, just as like a keynotes on how it looks that I want to follow in the execution. But I do not expect that I can just do this in like one go without any issues at the first time. I shouldn't expect that, and I very much set this in the planning phase. And then what's important for the video, not just for the on the planning side, but what is important for the video. But for videos, the most important thing for the video is the idea. So what is the idea? It's just like kind of a simple description of what is this video about. Well, this video is about how to plan a video. Then after that is the packaging. Packaging is, well, how do I sell the video? How could others view the video? How do I package, which on YouTube is the thumbnail, the title. You could put the hook in or not. It's very much attached to that, but also not that directly, because then it already requires a click. But these three things kind of make the packaging. And for the packaging, it's very important, I think, to first think about, then define like the idea. Before that, then you think about, okay, I want to package the idea. And for that, I need to have it a little more precise. What exactly should this video be? What should be the point that the packaging should tell that connects to the idea, so that I can make a package, or at least I can think about making a package that conveys one kind of message or one point, or like an important thing that then the viewer can see, okay, this is the idea of the video, this is what the video about, this is what I get out of watching this video. And for that I have to define, okay, what is the importance, or what is the thing that I want to package from the idea. Because the idea is, how do I make a video? But like for my packaging, I was going more so for, okay, this video will be more so about, or what I want to convey is, this is like kind of the entry of how to plan a video, like more so as a journey perhaps. Or the other approach was more so, this is like a documentation, like kind of more of a log of the current state, so that later I can just look back and, okay, this is how I started with like kind of the structure of how I plan a video, and how do I approach being at the start where I lost, I don't know, I feel like mentally blocked. What should I do? How can I plan this? And I just can watch it. Okay, I had this issue. How do I solve it? That's kind of what this video about, what the packaging should be about. And so the packaging, the title is, I don't know how to make a video. That's what I landed on. And the thumbnail was, well, me holding up either like my blog or a piece of paper, which just put down, making a plan or something like this, and look with me on the side with my face. I don't want to overdo or think very much on topic. I currently want them very, very simple and easily done. I don't want to invest currently too much in the packaging, because I don't think at this point it's important. I think currently a lot more important is just investing into how can I make a good video. It doesn't matter if I can have great packaging and then worse videos. I think at the start it's for me a lot more important to just focus on how I can make videos, and only then a little bit later I think it's very important to then focus a lot more on the packaging. But I think, at least currently, I think I have to learn the video production part before the packaging. Yes, so then after the packaging comes the hook. And the hook, well, you saw the hook there, but what does the hook do? What is the idea of thinking about the hook? The hook is important. It's the start of the video. People click on a video, they decide in like the first seconds, maybe like in the first 30 seconds, depending on the person and what they thought they would get out of it, and how big of a chance they give a video. It's very much it's the decision maker for the people. Do I stick with it? Do I really want this? Is this giving me what I signed up for? So the hook is kind of the promise and the sales pitch of, all right, this was the packaging. This was kind of what I promised you, and the hook should leads, I think, a viewer into believing and into giving trust. Okay, I will get this. This is what I thought this would be. This is what I'm here for. This is what the hook kind of have to lead into, and also it has to connect. So I think for me as a creator, I have to think with the hook for a little bit on the side of, where does the viewer come from? So where can I get them? So where can I get them and then bring them into this video in a way? So they're coming to, they're clicking. Okay, how can I approach them? How can I get there? I don't know what's exact phrasing perfectly in English is, but like connecting them, taking them with, collecting them a little bit. That's for me also kind of what I think I have to think about for the hook. I mean, at this point I don't really think that much about what's the value for the viewer, who is the viewer. Those are the things that I currently don't think about and I don't want to think about right now. These practices still, and these videos are still about what do I want, what does feel good for me, how can I make videos, and only when I feel like comfortable in that, I will go the next step and think, okay, how can I make videos that I like doing, that I enjoy doing, and how can I make them for a specific viewer, for an audience, and how does they then connect. And before that, I think worrying too much about the audience and the viewer, at least for me, is not helpful, because we'll just make too much expectation, we'll just fail in doing so. So let's not do this at the beginning. But that's very much the hook, and for me the hook was very much the issue in this for this precise video. The hook was, well, what's the issue? I'm kind of mentally blocked. I don't know how to plan a video. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel struggle. I feel lost. And I think that's a point. I potentially connect with someone who would have this issue. Like that's the approach I'm taking in this video. Yeah, then after the hook comes pretty much the last part of the planning that I'm doing right now. That's just the content. What will the video be about? Well, the content, or this content phase, where it starts with the hook. You have the hook, and then you have, like, with the hook, maybe a little bit more, you have like the start of the video. And currently, well, for the content, in the long run, I think it's important to think about, well, what's the story structure to just use for the content. And right now I'm using a very simple, like very abstract story structure. I have a start, I have a middle, I have an end. I kind of want to have a transition between them that makes some kind of sense. So in this case, I have a start. The start is also very much the hook. It's just like the issue. I feel I want to make videos, I want to plan them. I feel I have like a mental blockade. I struggle to think about what should I even plan, how should I even plan, should I even think about when planning, what's the planning for, what should I plan, what should I not plan, stuff like that. I just think about structuring this. So it's the issue. The start starts with the issue. The middle part is, well, the approach of the solution, not necessarily directly the solution, but how do I get from the issue to the solution? That's what the middle part is about. So the middle part was very much most of this video. It's just starting then with thinking about, okay, what's important? Let's not just talk about what should I actually think about. Let's think about what is important to think about. What is important, what is not important, because from that I can then have a better direction of, okay, these are the things that are important. Okay, so what do I have to think with them? We talked about this whole video, so that's more of the middle part, and then kind of the solution. And well, of course, the end part then is, well, the outcome, which at this point, well, is this video. You have seen the outcome. We are like at the end of the execution, and at the end it's also then very much, well, how did it run? How did it went? And I have it. You can see it in my planning. I wanted my end to be a little bit open. I haven't planned the open. I've planned it. I said I want the end to be open because, well, I don't know how it will be, because that's only at this point. Only at this point I know what the planning and the execution was like. So I'm here, and now is the time for the end of this video. It's time for the reflection. Let's look back at how did it went. Actually, I felt by the planning, I really started at the beginning, I very felt lost. Like I didn't know what should I think about. I mean, I have planned videos in this format before, but that's like years ago, and I mean, yeah, like 1.5 years ago. And I just felt very mentally blocked. And I think that it was for me also about the mental blockage, or the mental blockade that I have, and like the issues of, yeah, will I be able to do this? Kind of my fears very much holding me back and making thinking difficult for me. And when I started, and then just okay, what is important? What are the goals? It very much from setting what is important for like the planning and for the videos, and then setting goals for what do I want, what do I not want. That made it very clear, and very much put me on a path that felt very focused. I had to say very much during the planning I felt really good. Actually, it felt enjoyable to plan the video. It felt focusing. I felt like present, like I do also there in this video. Now in the execution, I think the end part of this video was a lot better. I think it was just coming a little bit more into the rhythm, into the topic again. Before I recorded, I just read through and just talked a little bit through all of the points that I planned. To just get a little bit back, because I did the plan yesterday and I'm recording this today, so I had like a bit of context switch between them. So I was trying to immerse myself a little bit again in the plan that I made. so that I don't just start and just having the piece of paper with the plan on me and just having to execute on it. I think at the start it was a little bit worse. I was a little bit more, like stopping. I felt a little bit pressure in the beginning, but I think like at the end, it's my performance. My performance was a lot better, was a lot smoother. I felt a lot more. I don't feel currently any pressure, behind expectation. It just felt good. I had a little bit more issues in the start. I hope with some practice and doing this again and again, like a few times, I don't know, in like 5, 10, 15 times doing this, maybe I don't have this pressure even at the beginning, and the hooks will be easy and the hooks will be better. I mean, another thing for the hooks potentially is making them at the end, a little bit later on, if maybe that's an issue that continues because the hook kind of has to be solid. So maybe if I'm not able to perform my best at the beginning of the recording, I just have to record the hook at the end and cut it together. Yeah, but I think that worked really well. I think this worked well. And with this, let's end this video. Have a nice day.